Hi everyone, welcome back to my classes. It's Divya here with class 8 physics. Matter or change in state of matter. You have already seen about solid, liquid and gases, their properties. Now one interesting fact about these three states of matter is that they are very much interconvertible. That is, solid can be converted to gas, gas can be converted to solid, solid can be converted to liquid, liquid can be converted to solid, gas can be converted to liquid and liquid can also be converted back to solid. So these are the change in states of matter. Now let us see the change in state of matter one by one. Before getting into it, one thing you always have to remember, whatever be the change in state of matter within each other, heat is always having a role. Heat will be either absorbed or released. Now let us come to melting or fusion. Now this is the process where the solid state is being changed to liquid state by absorbing heat. Okay, so that is the definition. Now in your daily life, you know how ice is melting into water. You can consider that same example itself. Now coming to melting point, I told you heat is having a role in that. When heat is being absorbed, there will be a change in temperature. Now there will be a particular temperature at which this solid is completely changing to liquid. At that point of temperature you call of a substance, you call it as the melting point of that substance. Okay, for example, melting point of ice will be 0 degree Celsius. Now when you talk about the change in state from solid to liquid state, we have already seen how the molecules are packed in solids, right? So when the molecules vibrate or when heat is being supplied, what happens is that the molecules will vibrate more and more so that they will have kinetic energy, right? So that kinetic energy will overcome the force of attraction between the molecules so that they start separating far away. As the molecules are becoming far and far, it will be changing to liquid state. That is what is happening here. Now we have seen what is melting or fusion. In the beginning I told you solid state can be converted to liquid state. At the same time liquid state can be converted back to solid state also, right? So that process, that is just the reverse of this process, you call it as freezing. Okay, you call it as freezing. Now what is freezing? Freezing means it is the process of change of a substance from liquid state to solid state, right? Now same as that of the melting point, you are having freezing point. Freezing point means the temperature at which the substance changes from liquid to solid, you call it as freezing point, right? For example, water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius to form ice at 0 degree Celsius. Here heat is released, not absorbed. The next change in state of matter we are going to see is from change in liquid state to gaseous state. So that process of changing of a substance from liquid to gaseous state, you call it as boiling or vaporization. Now similar to your melting point, here also heat is being absorbed so that temperature has a role, and now the temperature at which the substance changes from liquid to gaseous state, you call it as boiling point of that substance. For example, boiling point of water will be 100 degrees Celsius. Now same as that in case of this vaporization or boiling, here also what happens when heat is being absorbed, the temperature rises, the molecules will start moving so faster so that it acquires kinetic energy so as to overcome the intermolecular force of attraction between the water molecules so that the molecules will separate far away from each other and escape as water vapor. Now we have seen what is boiling or vaporization. Like how we have seen the opposite of melting is freezing. Here we have condensation. Okay, so the condensation means just like you have learnt your freezing and freezing point, condensation means the change of state from gaseous to liquid. Boiling is from liquid to gaseous. Condensation means the process of change in substance from gaseous state to liquid state. You call it as condensation. Now you are having condensation point of vapor, the temperature at which the substance changes from gas to liquid state, you call it as condensation point of vapor. Now for example, the steam at 100 degrees Celsius condensing to water at 100 degrees Celsius. That is an example. Here heat is being rejected. Now we are coming to the third set of change of state of matter, that is from solid to gaseous state directly without changing into liquid. That process you call it as sublimation. For example, camphor, iodine, etc. So you might have seen when you burn camphor is of solid state, right? A white color substance. When you burn it, you are not going to see any liquid state there. After some time, the camphor completely vanishes as what vapors, right? So that is what you call it as sublimation. Now, as I told you in the beginning earlier also, not only the solid state can be converted to gaseous state directly, gaseous state can also be converted directly to solid state without intermediate state of liquid. That process you call it as deposition. Okay, that process you call it as deposition. Now, one important point is that throughout whenever we learned about the change in state of matter, the one thing we have specified was either heat is absorbed or released or rejected, right? So, this process, or the amount of heat absorbed or rejected during the change of state for a unit mass of the substance, you call it as specific latent heat. Okay, you call it as specific latent heat, and it is measured in joules per kilogram. Now we are coming to the last topic of your chapter, that is evaporation. Evaporation is actually something similar to your vaporization, that is, it is also a process of liquid changing into a gas, but there are some differences. So differences means, the first difference is that evaporation, it can take place at any temperatures, all temperatures, but vaporization, it will take place only at a fixed temperature. Now next difference is that evaporation, it is a very slow process, but vaporization, it is a very fast process. Third difference is that evaporation takes place only at the surface, or you can say that evaporation is only a surface phenomenon, but vaporization, it takes place in the entire liquid. Now the last difference is that evaporation, it causes cooling effect, but vaporization, it cannot cause any cooling effect, right? Now let us see what are the factors affecting evaporation. First one is temperature of the liquid. Greater the temperature of the liquid, greater will be the rate of evaporation. Second one is area of the exposed surface. If the area of exposed surface is greater, greater will be the rate of evaporation. Now the third point is nature of a liquid. That means it depends on whether the liquid is volatile or non-volatile. For if the liquid is volatile, rate of evaporation will be faster, and if it is a non-volatile liquid, rate of evaporation will be slower. Now the fourth point is flow of air. Now if the flow of air is more, rate of evaporation will also be more, because while the air is blowing, it moves away the molecules of liquid from the surface with it. That is, since evaporation is a surface phenomenon, with the rate of flow of air increasing, rate of evaporation will also increase. Now the last factor affecting evaporation is moisture or humidity. This one I will explain with an example. In summer, clothes will dry more faster than in rainy days, right? So that is a good example. Moisture or humidity means the presence of water vapor in the atmosphere. So automatically, if there is moisture or humidity, rate of evaporation will be less. Now this is an interesting thing what we have seen when we have seen through the difference between vaporization and evaporation. That is, vaporization does not cause cooling effect, but evaporation causes a cooling effect. I'll tell you one example. When you spray some perfumes on your body, you will feel cold there, isn't it? So have you ever thought why it is? That is due to the rate of evaporation. That is, the spray or the perfume you are using is a volatile liquid. That is, it will vaporize very faster or evaporate very faster, right? Now, what is the reason behind this cooling effect? The reason is nothing. Whatever be the change of state, the heat is being either absorbed or released. So in case of evaporation, the heat is being absorbed from the surrounding. Okay, So for evaporation, whatever heat is there in the surrounding, it is being absorbed for that process, so that the surrounding wherever it is, it feels a cooling effect. That is, the whatever heat amount of heat was there, it was absorbed for evaporation, so that in that area you will feel cool. Now you are having so many examples or applications of evaporation given in your textbook. Difference table is also given between evaporation and boiling point. Go through those, read your textbook properly. Now with this we have come to the end of your chapter. Now read your textbook properly as much as you can. Now for your homework, you have to complete your exercise part of your question answer, that is till your question number 33 0.